We hate the boys and we are sick of their shit, so we're an all-girls panel here tonight on the South Park After Show on AfterBuzz. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? How's it going? We are so tired of the boys. I'm sick of their shit. So we're here, just us girls tonight.
And we love it.
I know. And we're so smart and funny, as we've told you many times this season, so...
Just ask Cartman.
Yeah. So I'm your host, Jessie Zahner. You can find me all over social media at Athletic, and my co-host tonight.
Hey, everybody. I am Christy Olson, and you can always keep up with me at Christy Reports.
So we are going to discuss South Park Season 20, Episode 9, Not Funny.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost finale time.
I know. Next week's the finale. I can't believe it. An entire season of trolling. So,
we needed it in this day and age.
I know. Well, it's so funny because I was just talking about like Twitter, and somebody said to me, the only thing Twitter's good for these days is trolling. Like, they were like, all that's on Twitter is trolling. And I thought about it, and it's like, when do you... I mean, yeah, I guess I post stuff here and there, but like, I'm always retweeting like funny trolling type things.
Well, you know what that makes me think of too, in the way of like positive trolling? Like how people will say things specifically to celebrities to get retweeted, like, "Oh, you're so great, love your show," you know. And when you say it at first, like it's all trolling, I'm like, well, it's not all negative, but no, it definitely is all trolling.
That's true. I never thought about the positive trolling. So
be a positive troll, not a negative troll.
I know. I never thought about that. Maybe I should be a more positive troll. I'm always looking for like a reaction out of people, but maybe I need to do a positive reaction.
We'll see how many thumbs up versus thumbs down we get on this episode.
Exactly. So let's get into it. This episode starts with everybody basically freaking out because everybody's internet history is about to go public. And so they're basically at this... I don't know. I don't want to call it a town hall because it wasn't, but it was just like they were speaking about why don't we just respect each other's privacy and nothing will happen. And it was funny because the people in the audience were like shouting out like, yeah, you know, I have nothing to worry about, but this person, and they were like singling out people. And it is funny because that is what trolling is. I feel like we can't just respect each other and just like exist together online. Like we have to be attacking somebody, or...
like this was like a live trolling situation.
Yeah.
So it was a trolling concert.
Oh, that's the funniest part. Like they were trying not to troll, but by like trying not to troll, they were like trolling each other. As weird. So everybody freaks out and they just run off, and people are going crazy. The entire place is going nuts. So
the troll deflection doesn't work.
It doesn't. So in the meantime, Kyle is at home getting in big trouble with his mom.
Aww.
Him and Ike are not allowed to be on the internet anymore.
Of course.
Because Ike is just, you know, a huge troll himself. Right. So Ike gets a call from Gerald, and Kyle snoops in and calls him out. And Gerald, you know, tells him, like, I don't know what's going on with your brother. He's crazy. And Kyle lets him know that Heidi did the emoji analysis, and they know it's him.
Trouble's just around the corner, Mr. Broflovski.
So they're trying to figure... So Gerald needs him to get... You know, needs Kyle to stop them from doing whatever it is that they're going to do, which is...
He has a mission for his sons.
Exactly. Which is put... Troll Trace, you know, get rid of him so that everybody's history doesn't come out.
Yes, please.
I know. So in the middle of that, Kyle's mom comes back in and flips out. And I love this side of her. She's so funny. She's just going apeshit with this.
This is like old school Kyle's mom.
Yeah.
I mean, she used to get crazy like this, right? In the movie, right?
Yeah, but I know, and we just haven't seen it in so long. No. So it's just, this episode was so funny with her. In the meantime, we also see Heidi at SpaceX, and she's trying to figure out like this complex...
What should we call it? A whiteboard.
Yeah, it's like a complex like equation. Yeah, I don't know what.
It's a trolling equation.
Yeah, and she's trying to figure it out, and she just can't get it. So Cartman starts, I guess, questioning himself. Like, he's not saying it, but he's wondering if Heidi is not actually as smart as he's been saying.
And therefore, is she not funny either?
I know.
Oh.
So that's been rough for him. So he's having a really stressful episode.
Poor Cartman.
I know, poor Cartman, right? So he's having a hard episode. Back at Troll Trace, we see the trolls be asked to remove their clothes, and they're sent into a room, and they're, tied down to chairs. So I guess they think they're gonna get like electric shock or something. And
I mean, I think that's would be my assumption as well.
yeah, that I know.
In this case.
I was like, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I knew what Gerald was thinking. So Gerald freaks out and basically admits that he is Skank Hunt 42
Yes.
and tries
Thinking
to apologize.
for some reason that would save him.
Yeah.
Hello, Gerald.
So he admits it and tries to apologize, before they strap him in, and it doesn't work. He gets strapped in with all the other trolls, and they're there, and we're about to see his last minutes before he dies, I guess.
Or so he thinks.
Yeah. So we go back to the United States, and everybody is at church praying for forgiveness for what they did online, because they know shit's about to hit the fan, and they're not even going to be able to. The entire place is going to go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't mean any of that stuff anyway. They were just curious. They weren't really going to have an affair.
And even the priest, he has nothing. He's fine. Everything he's done online is fine because he's a priest.
Yeah, dude, so don't even bother.
Yeah, so don't bother to look him up online.
Facebook.com/priest, totally clean.
So I know we talked about this before, but what if everything that you did online did come out to the public?
I have to say, I feel like I have been always pretty careful, just because I am someone who has a lot of opinions and gives them in a public platform.
Yeah.
So I always think someone's going to go to my Twitter page and dig something up that I said a million years ago. So I have always been super careful about that.
Yeah.
Like, even on Facebook with personal things, I just don't, I honestly, there wouldn't be things I've said, but maybe things I've looked into that
so
would be embarrassing.
like searches or okay.
Yeah, and I always think there's sometimes things that I Google too, just for my work in entertainment news or in pro wrestling, things I Google that I'm like, wow, if someone saw that in my history, they'd be like, what the hell? Yeah.
So you wouldn't be like freaking out like everybody else would be.
I wouldn't be worried about looking mean.
Okay.
But there might be some other
But some of the
embarrassing stuff
searches
there.
are kind of
dude.
sketch.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because now that
Maybe
you
a
say
little
that,
sketch.
like when you, I know this is kind of out there, but when you hear about these like criminals that have committed these horrific crimes,
Exactly.
they're always like, oh yeah, they were just searching whatever like 2 days ago, and
they Googled how to kill my infant and keep her in the trunk for 4 days without anyone noticing.
Exactly.
Like, literally Googled it word for word and then did it. And you're like, we think it was you. I don't.
So yeah, so I don't know if I don't think I'd be going that crazy about my stuff coming out on social or coming out to the public, but maybe my searches. I don't know. I don't even know the things that I searched, but now that it makes me interested, because then I'm like, well, if I committed a crime, like, what would they find that I searched?
I know. I just picture myself like
nitpick.
explaining that. Like, no. It was for work. It's because Kim Kardashian said it. I read it on Urban Dictionary and I needed a visual. Like,
So maybe that's why everybody's freaking out. I don't know. But everybody's praying for forgiveness for their internet history and everything that's going to become public. And Kyle and Ike walk in, and Kyle delivers this pep talk about taking a stand. And he wants everybody to call the president. So he actually gets through to these guys because Randy, of course, my boy Randy, thinks it's a great idea. And he gets Mr. Slave to call the president and basically troll him into bombing Denmark.
Genius.
I know.
And also, I love me some Mr. Slave, and this was a perfect, like,
He was so...
we were like, wait, who is, oh, yes, okay. And I mean, this was, I guess we should get political. We'll do that on Steven's behalf since he's not here. But, this was really rhetoric about, truthfully, what could happen if Donald Trump, with his, how sensitive he is
Right.
and seemingly quick to react, what would happen if this was a real life situation
Right.
where he felt just insulted by someone and had the power to really do this?
Yeah.
This could be a reality.
I know. I feel the same exact way. I truly do believe like he is super sensitive about things. Like anything that is said, he just goes on Twitter, as everybody knows, and has to comment on it. He can't just let it go and just be done with it and, have his own mind about it. He has to go and tweet back out, re-troll to people. And I mean, it's a serious concern. This could actually happen. So that was really, really interesting. In the meantime, anyways, aside from that, Mr. Slave works his magic and trolls him, and he's ready to bomb Denmark. So he's sold. He's going to do it. In the meantime, Butters and Cartman are back at SpaceX, and Cartman calls Butters out about Heidi. Because remember last episode, I was thinking that Butters was trying to take Heidi.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was your prediction.
That was my prediction. So
Good one, girl.
well, turns out I was actually wrong because Butters basically tells Cartman, I'm not trying to take your girlfriend. I don't want to have anything to do with girlfriends because they poop on your heart. Is that what he said?
Yes. Oh, I was going to say he's heartbroken, but he's heart pooped.
He wants nothing to do with girls. And
I feel so sad for him.
Yeah. I know.
That
I love
Canadian
Butters too.
trollop.
I know. I love him. So he's done. He's done with girlfriends. Just like I said earlier, he says, the girls are sick of our shit. They don't have anything to do with us. They hate us.
True that.
Yeah, exactly, Butters.
Except for you, Butters. We love you.
Yeah. No, I do love Butters. Yeah, you're right. So we go back to Troll Trace, and Gerald is apologizing again. I'm not really a troll. So he basically makes a plea and says, let me talk to you. And he goes and talks to the guy in charge of Troll Trace.
This is where we finally get some answers.
So he apologizes and he tells him, I'm not really a troll. I'm a lawyer. I have a family. And like trolls don't have a life outside of their trolling. So he says, I'm a lawyer. I have a family. And the response that he gets is, that volleyball player had a family and they miss her very much. So with that, he finds out that Troll Trace is saying, what if, we could troll the entire world? What if I could become the president by getting just people, by like trolling people, by getting everybody all riled up and they vote for me and we could just watch the world like turn batshit crazy. Which is basically
why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would anyone want to do such a thing?
So that's exactly what Gerald says. Why? Like, I don't get it. Why? And his response, do you remember his response?
Yeah, and Gerald of all people should have guessed.
I know. So he's like, it's hilarious. And that's so funny because Gerald is like, that's not funny at all. And this is exactly how Gerald got in the situation he's in. He's been trolling all this time. People ask him why, and he's like, it's funny. And now this is like the biggest trolling thing of the universe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's like, I don't get it. Why? Why are you doing this? Because it's hilarious.
And then he still doesn't get it.
Yeah. He's not having it. So in the end of that part, he ends up rickrolling everybody, which was hilarious. And then the guy's like, yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. But that was a good one. We're going to give it to him.
Yeah, it was so funny. So it's actually like, this is basically, it's so sad, but this is like the state in which we live in now. Like, we have a president who trolled his way into office.
Yeah.
No, prior experience at all. Just trolls, riles people up, and here he is.
Worked like a charm in middle America.
So now I'm like curious, and I'll talk about it during the predictions, but I wonder if they're going to take it one step further so we can get a glimpse into what Trump is going to be like. once we get,
Like actual
like when he
presidency?
becomes president.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, aside from that, Kyle and Ike are still getting in trouble for everything. They need to put a plan in place because Kyle realizes he did not know that his dad was in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
So all this time his mom's yelling at him and she finally is like, when your dad gets back from Denmark, and he's like, what is he doing in Denmark? And so he realizes that he led the charge in getting the president to bomb Denmark, but now his dad's there. So he's like, shit, we have to do something.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of surprised. I mean, at this point, you'd think Kyle, being the Kyle that he is, would be like, oh, the greater good. My dad was trolling anyway. I mean, this could be kind of a heel turn for Kyle.
Well, and I was actually shocked that he didn't know. I don't know why, but I assumed that he knew he was in Denmark.
Yeah, so did I.
But earlier while I was watching the episode, I was like, why is he trying to bomb Denmark if he knows his dad's there? So I guess I should have assumed that he didn't know, but I thought that he had known.
I feel like it's been a couple episodes since they touched on the fact that he didn't know where.
Well, it's because, where the hell do you think your dad is?
Right.
Like, didn't you ask your mom, like, where the hell's dad? Why does he keep popping up on Ike's computer? Like, what is going on?
He's just a little busy.
Yeah. So.
Trying to save the world,
So they have to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So back to Heidi. Cartman is finally, he's sold, like, Heidi's not smart. So now he's trying to bring the funny out of her. She's concentrating. She's ignoring him. He wants her to say something funny. She's not having it. So he's panicking because he's saying, this is the smartest and funniest girl that funniest person that I know. And she's not smart anymore.
Uh-oh.
And now she's not being funny. So he's panicking.
Give her a sec, Cartman.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, does Cartman only like smart and funny girls? He just can't be cool with Heidi? Is he only with her because she's smart and funny?
I don't think Cartman can afford to have high expectations.
Yeah.
I'm just going to troll Cartman
know,
here for a second. I feel like if he's only going for smart and funny, he might spend a lot of time lonely.
Well, it's so sad because I mean, we know Cartman has no heart. I mean, he's basically like a narcissist or like a sociopath. So he has no heart.
So you think he has like no hope of ever being in a stable, healthy relationship anyway?
I just don't think he gives a shit about anybody.
Right.
So, but when I saw him act like this in this season, I was like, oh, maybe he's really finding love and he's changed. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I'm sorry, people. But
oh, he had you, girl.
I know. So I loved their relationship and I love Heidi. Mm-hmm. So now I'm finding that this is like way more just like superficial. He likes Heidi because she's smart and funny, and he's panicking now that she's not. But she uses her emoji analysis and figures out this huge
what
math.
Do we call it?
I don't know what it
whiteboard
is.
Of the whiteboard of trolling.
Math
equation
thing. Yeah.
Thingy. This seems
so
like an
she's
appropriate
smart.
time to use the word thingy.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that was. I'm not smart, so I can't figure that out. But she figured it out. And then
But you are funny, girl.
But in the end, Kyle turns out to be really smart. Him and Ike come up with a plan to trap their mom so that they can get back on the computer. Because she basically threatened them that the next time that they disobey her with this, they're done.
But now she's like really, 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 really mad.
Yeah, I was thinking like she was legitimately going to kill them.
Oh, yeah, I believed it when she said it.
So did I. I was like, shit, now Gerald is stuck there. They're never getting him out. So Ike walks in her room and says, what does he say? Like, suck my balls or something? He just like says, suck my balls. He's so cute.
The profanity all episode from him was just, it was so cute.
I forgot to touch on that. When Kyle's on the phone trolling the president, Ike's in the background, like feeding him the lines.
Chiming in.
And he's like, where did you learn to talk like this? Oh, Dad. Ike is so great. So Ike walks in, suck my balls. His mom loses it, flies off the handle, chases him downstairs. Kyle's waiting in the kitchen. Where did Ike go? He points to the pantry. She goes in. They close the door, lock her in. And they're like, sorry, we have to get on the computer.
She should have seen it coming.
And it ends. So I don't know what to expect for next episode, but...
No, we keep all episode been like, okay, what are the answers? What are we getting? What about the member berry? What about this? Who's doing this? Why and what?
I know, and we didn't see the member berries at all.
No.
This season...
We're 22 minutes to an end of all this,
I know.
and we have 0 answers.
And so this season, has there been an episode where we haven't had the member berries on?
I don't believe so. Unless it was maybe very early on in the season. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And last episode, didn't they take over the White House?
Yeah.
Was that last episode?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see them at all. So come back, member berries. We miss you. I need to member.
Member berries.
It's so bad because now I member everything. I'm always like, member.
It's become like a cultural phenomenon, though. Everyone knows what you're talking about. Like, I feel like it comes up on all our other shows.
It does. It comes up everywhere. I was at the gym and I heard the guys talking, like, remember this? I was like, oh, good Lord, it's happening. They're taking over. They don't need to take over South Park anymore. They're taking over the world.
That's when you go up to that group of guys and, like, lay out your South Park knowledge on them and then, like, walk away like, boom. More of that live trolling.
So let's get into predictions.
All right.
And now,
just because I can't wait any longer.
Predictions.
Well, I know. And what I'm most curious about is, are Trey and Matt going to go in on Trump? Is this going to end with him quitting or going back to hell? Or, I mean, there's so many things that could provide commentary as to the state of our country.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see which way they're going to go with it. I honestly don't know. I feel like I can't even make predictions.
Yeah.
And those member berry, I mean, what would they even be up to?
Yeah. I mean, I think for the predictions one, I mean, what do you think is going to happen with Kyle's mom? Because she's about to lose her shit.
Actually try to kill them. Yeah, like I feel like they better keep her in there until all is well and Dad is back and he can explain.
Yeah.
Or she is actually going to murder them.
Yeah, I'm really, literally, like, that's why I had to get to predictions, because I'm like, I can't wait to see what she's going to do. She's going to go crazy. And I hope she does.
And also, she's going to find out at some point that her husband is skank hunt.
Right?
I hope she does.
Well, I mean, he's admitted it, so I feel like she will, but I don't know. He keeps blaming it on Ike. But Kyle knows, Ike knows.
If Dad makes some kind of a deal with Ike and Kyle, like, take the fall for this and, you know, I'll get you out of trouble with Mom.
Which is basically like what he's been trying to do with Ike.
Yeah. But I'm not sure that Kyle could be so easily manipulated. And we only have 20. Oh, man. I only have one more episode for all this to wrap up.
So my other question in terms of predictions is, what do you guys think is going to happen with the member berries?
Again, it's going to have to be so quick. I feel like they've laid out so much for us. And what could really be satisfying in one more episode left? I don't know.
Do you think we're just going to get like a giant Rickroll? They're just going to Rickroll everybody?
No answers. Yeah. Just a Rickroll. I don't know what else could happen. I mean, there's too much to address.
Yes, exactly.
That's almost the only thing that could satisfy it all.
It's like, what happens with Heidi, and she figured out this equation. So what, is everybody going to go to Mars?
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Kyle and Ike's mom?
And Dad and them.
Troll Trace taking over the world by trolling, you know.
Butters'
and is everybody's information going to come out and be public?
Yes, because that could provide all of next season's, like, commentary.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm concerned.
I know.
Jessie, I'm concerned.
I know.
Doesn't seem like enough time to answer all the questions that we have.
I know. It's crazy. I know. So next week's the finale. Anything else that we missed from tonight's episode?
I don't think so. I think we thoroughly covered it. I would imagine that Steven and Phil will be joining us next week for the finale. I hope so.
I hope so. All right, guys. Well, thanks.
No, we're sick of their shit and we don't want them back. But they'll probably be here anyway.
Exactly. So that's all we have for tonight. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us online on all social media at AFTERBUZZ TV. You can find me, Jessie Zahner, online at Athletic. And I'll let Christy tell you where you can find her.
And please hit me up at Christy Reports on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And please also check out XPOC12360 right here on AfterBuzz TV. This week we had Hardcore Bob Holly as our guest. So I figure, you know, South Park and pro wrestling can't be too different of an audience.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week for the finale. Thanks. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.